see.
Sige, thank you, Fitz, for joining us today, right?
Sige.
Um,
I-check ko lang yung ano ha pagka-live mo.
I'm
Sige.
hoping
Thank you po. Thank you din sa invite.
I'm hoping that I can meet you again. It's been a while, more than I think 3 years.
Hindi naman. 2 years pa lang naman itong pandemic.
No, 2 years yung pandemic, pero the last time I saw him was in 2019. I think
2019.
early part ng 2019.
Okay.
Anyway, well, maraming salamat and magandang umaga or magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Dun sa Casablanca.
Yeah. Sige. Nagla-live ako dito sa Facebook. Maraming salamat, of course, dito sa ating mga audience at Facebook. For those that are wondering why we're doing this, just wanted you to know that we are doing this every Saturday, and this is free, so we're not charging you for anything. And primarily, we're doing this to educate people that are interested into using natural solution or integrative approaches in medicine. And I'm Dr. Brizuela, and besides me is my wife. Your name?
Hi. Good day to everyone. So my name is Noemi. We hope that as we discuss things today for our wellness, I hope you can interact with us by chatting, or even this is Zoom. Definitely they can personally chat with us, but I hope you can learn much from what we were going to share, kasi natututo rin kami dito sa mga binabahagi namin sa inyo.
Okay, so our topic for today is all about eating healthy, right? So for those that are watching us on Facebook, this is one of the most I would say challenging, right? This is one of the most challenging thing to do when it comes to eating, especially among Filipinos, kasi ang Pilipino napakahilig kumain, at marami tayong mga pagkain na apparently, masarap kainin, pero hindi necessarily healthy. Especially yung mga puto, yung ano ba yan, mga bibingka. Tapos,
paborito ko yun eh.
Oo nga
Puro
mga, I really enjoy those food. I don't know, with you guys. And dito sa ating Zoom, I'm sure si Fitz ay nag-i-enjoy din sa mga ganong food. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's totally evil, right? But it's also a good thing to understand that eating carbs needs to be regulated.
Yeah,
right?
A piece at a time.
And portioning and dosage and all these words that really regulates the amount of it, especially if you have a very strong history of insulin resistance or diabetes. So these are a very, very important thing to really understand. And today we will be talking about what's the problem about eating healthy.
The problem, or
what's our problem about eating healthy? So the average person could probably recite the recipe for healthy eating. Alam na karamihan, alam na naman yung lahat eh. More fruits, more vegetables, less red meat and processed food. Ito yung mga parang mantra. How do you eat healthy? Of course, walang processed food or less processed food, less red meat, more fruits and vegetables. Sa Filipino context, ang pagkain, especially among Bicolano, kasama natin dito sa kaibigan natin from Sorsogon. When we eat vegetable, palaging may kanin, di ba? Kasi yung pagkain natin sa Sorsogon ay sa Bicol may gata. Di ba?
Hindi naman. It's a general.
Most of the time.
General in Filipinos, we eat vegetable kasama ng pagkain ng meal na may rice, may ulam.
Yeah, that's why merong cultural issue. Maya-maya pag-usapan natin doon. We struggle to follow a healthy diet. That's a reality. Diba? Heart disease remains the leading cause of death, even in the Philippines. And obesity rates have grown from 30.5 in 2000 to 42.4 in 2018. It's pre-pandemic to. I'm sure naging worse pa to nung nag-pandemic kasi people are contained in a
Yeah,
space.
sedentary
Oo,
lifestyle.
sedentary lifestyle, may anxiety, and all these kind of factors
Mhm.
nagko-contribute doon. So, mas lalo pa silang hindi makagalaw,
Mhm.
right? And adopting a healthy diet can help combat both of these, but only an estimated 22% of Americans, I don't know about the percent in Filipinos, follow the American Heart Association's dietary recommendations.
Mhm.
Diba? So,
So napakaliit na percent, like ano lang, ano?
yeah, 22%. Imagine mo yung 22%, that's almost one-fourth lang.
Mhm.
Diba? So why is it difficult to eat healthy? There's like six things there here na binigyan ko ng pansin. Number one is there's a lot of confusing information out there on what healthy diet looks like.
Mm.
Actually, merong study na ginawa, yung isa sa pinaka-prominent ditong institution, yung Harvard University. Imagine mo kagabi, I was reading that document na I got from Harvard. There are 34 diet programs. Diba?
Mm.
Iba-iba. Iba-iba yung context. Meron naka-base sa vegetable, meron naka-base sa meat. Kasama rin yung mga ketogenic diet,
Mhm.
Mediterranean diet. Imagine mo yung 34. Kung ikaw yung tao na is not really very particular, how do you choose which one fits you?
Mhm.
Di ba? So ako siguro, susubukan ko lahat bago ako malalaman kung ano yung appropriate sa akin.
Mhm.
Di ba? So there's supposed to be science na nagba-back up ng mga ganong klase mga situation. And I don't know, ako personally, sinubukan ko yung ketogenic diet. I modified it to fit my culture. Kasi kung pure ketogenic diet, hindi magwo-work sa akin yun eh.
Mhm.
I don't know about you. Ano bang diet ang
On diet ko.
Filipino diet?
Noymis diet ako eh.
Chinese diet.
Ano lang ako, yung Noymis diet is, yun nga, sabi mo, choosing to eat more fruits. Parang wala akong specific na fina-follow, but I choose to have small portion, frequent diet, and
Mm-mm.
as much as possible. But yun, wala akong fina-follow. Ang ano ko lang is yung general principle.
Okay. Hindi ko alam yung audience natin dito sa Facebook. For those that are watching us, ano ba yung diet na ginagawa ninyo ngayon?
Yeah. So, kasi, hindi, kaya ko naman binanggit na parang, meron kasi ako, as I see my patients, usually, once I ask them to reduce weight, binibigyan ko sila ng listahan ng parang 1,800 calorie diet.
Mm-mm.
No? So, because of their diabetes and many factors, but majority to lose weight. And
Mm-mm.
yung concept na lagi kong sinasabi, it's a moderate small amount na
Mhm.
frequency. Kaya, like, ewan ko, if you have seen before, I always emphasize, sabi ko, ang 1 cup, ganito lang. So, if ever you're gonna eat rice, 1 cup, maximum na, isang fist.
sabi ng isa, I will die if I don't eat.
Ay,
Die to eat.
yeah. Tapos, like, if you're gonna eat meat, sabi namin, usually one palm size. Ganun. Pero hindi ganyan kakapal, ganyan lang ang maximum ng meat, fish, or whatever protein that you have.
Yeah, actually, mayroon tayong video on that. I'll share that with them.
So, parang ganun lagi ina-emphasize ko, and that's what I follow.
Mhm. Tapos, isa pang reason, don't be misled by healthy-sounding buzzwords. Hindi lang buzzwords actually eh. Maraming mga celebrities, di ba? That actually endorses. Dito sa atin, there's ano ba tawag doon? Mga packaged meals. May
Mhm.
iba.
Dito usong-uso yan sa atin.
Jenny Craig, all these things.
Nutrisystem.
Nutrisystem. Dinideliver na actually sa'yo, nakapackage na, pre-package. Nandun na yung mga pagkain. So, nandun yung for breakfast mo, for lunch, for dinner, and even snacks.
Yeah.
So, nandun na yung 5 meals mo per day. So, darating sa'yo, ilalagay mo na sa fridge, tapos microwave mo if needs to be microwave, etc. So, there's a whole lot of diet issues eating a healthy snack because it was gluten-free, mga ganon.
Mhm.
Minsan na-tempt ako, pumunta ako sa Trader Joe's. Sabi ko, masubukan nga itong gluten-free diet. Diba? So just for the sake of it, hindi ko gusto. Diba? So, I want more gluten in my diet.
Ang gluten-free naman is intended kung meron kang gluten sensitivity.
Sensitivities.
Ikaw naman.
Yeah, I
Hindi
mean, I might not have that, pero I just wanted to taste kung ano yung gluten na sinasabi ng mga tao.
Yeah.
I mean, academically, I know what it is. And theoretically, I've seen a lot of studies on that. Pero ano ba yung gluten diet? Yeah, so, yung matikman mo mismo. Yung nga sabi ko dito kanina, yung pangatlo is changing your diet also equals changing your culture.
Yeah.
Diba, naalala mo noong first time ako dito sa US, nagulat ako dun sa mga tao dito, parang kung kumain sila ng raw vegetable. Sabi ko, that was in the early 90s, yung una kong punta dito. Sabi ko, wow, kinakain nila yan. Kasi from Bicol, hindi naman kami kumakain ng mga ganun eh. So I was really surprised why they're eating that and how it feels. So of course, nakisabay naman ako. Pero
Pero you have to change yung no, para maano mo yung palate mo and everything.
yeah, tapos sa Atlanta nun, walang kanin.
Yeah, wala.
Mamatay-matay ako after siguro mga 4 days. Sabi ko, mukhang mamamatay ako dito ng maaga na walang kanin. Kasi yung mga ganong klase.
Yeah, that's true. Kasi yung dito talaga sa US, hindi naman regular that you can find a store na may kanin. So, parang yun din yung yun din yung naging struggle ko parehas mo, when I first came here, parang hindi pwedeng walang kanin everyday kasi Pilipino ako.
Yeah,
So,
kanin every day, kanin 3 times a day pa nga ang mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Almusal, tanghali, dinner. And in between,
that's our culture.
Yeah, and in between, ang snack nila suman, latek. Yeah. And the other reason is it's more convenient to eat unhealthy food. Diba? Kasi package mabilis, tapos madaling kainin, diba? So mga ganun. And when you eat unhealthy food, you feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah, you feel good to eat unhealthy food. Matter of fact, meron mga research na ginawa dito that there are studies about ano ba yung level of sugar na nagkakaroon ng sugar high yung mga tao to the point that you become addicted to it. Diba? Merong mga studies na ganun for those that don't know about how the science of food manufacturing gets into our vision and our palate and all these things. Actually, may mga tao na o may mga grupo na nag-aral na we are actually victims of this manufacturing industry.
Yeah, that's true.
And we easily succumb to it. That's why you really have to be aware, for those that are listening to us or watching us on Facebook, na in anything that you do, someone is trying to influence your decision-making process.
Yeah. Sample na lang po, dina-grocery ako 2 days ago. Magkasama kami na asawa ko. Tapos namili ako kasi nakalagay doon, chichirya. Nakalagay vegetables, siya ang tawag doon, vegetable straw. Tapos the other one was yung kera, which is the, mga root crops, like diba, taro and everything. Sabi ko, ano bang mas okay bilhin dito? Sabi ko sa kanya. Kasi healthy naman siya, as it says there, it's bread is healthy. Kasi taro, yung mga dehydrated root crops, yung isa, tapos isa tapos sabi niya, parehas yan hindi healthy.
Kasi process eh.
Kasi process. So wala, sabi ko, sige, ibalik ko doon. So I didn't buy it. So parang, andun, aminin ko, there are temptation. He knows this one. I don't buy it regularly, but merong times that I buy it.
Yeah. Kasi merong psychology behind that eh. If you look at the food industry, even yung packaging, yung colors, yung taste, etc. And you have to understand that there's a whole lot of studies na ginawa how to sell that kind of product. And normally, as people, we end up as the victims,
Yeah.
consuming something that our body don't need, but our body enjoy.
Yeah.
Diba? But at the end of it, hindi naman talaga siya napapakinabangan ng katawan natin. Actually, it destroys a whole lot of our body systems. It destroys our adrenals, it destroys our thyroid, it destroys our gastrointestinal system, and even to the point of causing early dementia and all of those things.
Yeah.
So actually, food could be medicine if you take it properly, the right amount, the right type of food. But it could also be poison,
Mhm.
di ba? Oh,
So, that's
ngayon,
true.
anong masabi mo?
Ayun. Kaya, as much as possible, don't buy. Hindi, yung temptations, don't buy it. If
Mm-mm.
alam mo it's not healthy for you. Kasi
Yeah,
once na binili mo and it's in your house,
yeah,
you're gonna eat.
absent, ano yun? Ah, ano nga tawag doon sa English? Yung,
Absence make the heart go fonder.
and pag hindi mo nakikita, hindi mo naalala.
Ayan.
Yun yung i-Englishin ko sana.
Sabi ko, iba yung alam ko nga.
So, pag wala ka nakikitang basurang pagkain sa bahay mo, ang tendency mo, hindi mo kakainin kasi wala eh.
That's right.
So it's not there. It's not as easily accessible. Kaya kahapon, I was really tempted to eat McDonald's. Kasi I've fasted for so many months already against fast food. Matagal-tagal na rin hindi ako kumain ng McDonald's eh. Siguro mga almost a year na. Diba? Almost a year na. Eh di ba ang sarap-sarap ng lasa ng McDo? So kahapon, pauwi ko pagkatapos kong ihatid kita, nagki-crave talaga ako, paulit-ulit na nag-register sa mind ko. Bumili ka ng McDonald's. Tapos, naging ano pa siya, naging specific pa dun sa McGriddle. Di ba favorite ko yun. So, sabi ko, hanggang saan dumaan na ako sa may McDonald's. Tapos bigla na lang, sige na nga, pagbigyan ko yung katawan ko. This time, di ba? So, may emotional attachment. Actually, ito yung next na reason. There's an emotional attachment to food given to a child to comfort them in times of stress. Diba? Growing up, there's a whole lot of attachment to food. Ako, palagi kong naalala yung mga pagkain na binibigay sa akin ng nanay ko, ng tatay ko. And yung pansit is my favorite. Yung siopaw, di ba? Palagi kong minimension sa iyo yan. That's why I grew up na pagka tinatanong ako, anong paborito mong food? Pansit. Agad-agad pansit.
Pansit.
Oh, so
and every day, pansit.
I can eat pansit in the morning, pansit in the evening, afternoon. Lahat ng time of the day, basta may pansit. I can do that. Why? Because I grew up eating that. Wala naman kaming...
so healthy ba yung pansit?
Well, not necessarily. Diba? Not necessarily. Kasi
It's the amount.
It's the amount. So, there's an emotional attachment. For those that are listening to us, meron ka palaging kinikrave, kasi nga, meron kang nakasanayan eh. Growing up, ikaw, madalas kang, pag umuwi ako ng Pilipinas, palagi mong sinasabi sa akin, sabihin mo si mama, namimiss ko na yung puto bombong, ano ba yung mga suman sa liya.
Of course, that's my favorite. Lahat ng kakanin.
So lahat ng kakanin, halos lahat ng bag ko, yun ang laman. Mga 80% of my baggage are food. Diba yung, kasi mga kapatid ko naman, magbibilin pa ng, pagulay ka ng ganito, pagulay ka ng ganon.
And that's healthy.
So 2 luggage ko, puro gulay. I mean, lutong gulay, frozen. So there's the whole study na ginawa na talaga nakafocus dito. And that's why it's really very difficult to eat healthy. So it's a major, anong tawag doon? It's a major decision that you really have to think about. Now, there's this lady in Harvard School of Public Health. She said, the overall message is that healthy eating takes too much work and that healthy food is not tasty.
Aray ko.
Diba? Kasi yun yung psychology, hindi tasty eh. Hindi masarap. Nalala mo na kumain tayo ng pizza. Sige, kwento mo yun sa kanila.
Sabi namin, we will try to eat pizza healthy. Ano yung vegetable pizza ba yun?
veggie pizza, tapos
Veggie pizza.
manipis.
Manipis lang yung crust and everything. Tapos, ikaw magkwento.
Di siyempre, sige, sabi ko, try natin healthy. Tapos nung dumating na yung food, dumating na yung pizza, healthy nga siya.
Uh-huh.
Kasi very minimal yung cheese, tapos maraming veggie, tapos
Manipis lang yung
manipis
crust.
lang yung crust. Pero nung kinain na namin, hindi namin ma-consume, hindi namin ma-enjoy. Kasi nga, healthy.
Hindi masarap.
So, we ended up bringing it home.
Mhm.
Hindi namin na talaga kayang kainin o kayang ubusin yung ganun compared to the regular pizza. So, that's the psychology behind eating
Kasi nga
healthy.
hindi siya ganun ka-tasty as the regular ones.
Yeah, kasi we eat with our tongue, di ba?
Meron nga sinabi si Mario, like, example lang nito yung pizza. Di ba kasi nagpapasarap sa pizza, yung mga fats that are on it, ano? So, anything with fats, it tastes good. So, syempre, vegetable, wala namang fats doon, kaya it doesn't taste good.
Sabi nito, lechon daw at sinigang. Yeah, that requires, again, kanin, di ba? Ako, I like lechon, to be honest. Di ba palagi nating sinasabi, happy food.
Uh-huh.
Di ba? Naalala mo yung, ano ba yung pelikula na yan? Seven Sundays. Seven Sundays. Meron pelikula na pelikulang Pilipino na pinanood namin. Nandun talaga yung culture ng Filipino, no? Food. And it's fun actually to study about this whole food thing. And there's a level of, nung inaaral ko to few days ago until I developed the slides. Sabi ko, wow, parang it really gets into my inner core. Yung mga choices ko ng pagkain, kailan ko dapat kainin. At my age, I really have to be very, very discriminate about food. Otherwise, it will just destroy the whole system that I have.
Okay.
Now, ito yung Harvard Medical School, meron silang mga parang prescription, eating or healthy eating plate. So may mga number, water, tea, drink water, tea, etc. I will post this on our Facebook pages for you to serve as a guide. Meron na ako ditong hindi masyadong nag-agree, yung canola oil. Actually, there's a study about canola oil na hindi rin siya healthy.
Yeah, but I mean to say, ano naman to moderation naman ang gamit natin when we use that. So it's just okay. I mean to say, part pa rin ng study that they have noted it out. Kasi mas limit pa rin siya compared din sa other vegetable
Sa other oil.
Yeah,
other
sa other
oil.
vegetable oil.
But of course, kung meron kang option, I would rather recommend avocado oil kaysa canola oil. So, but all the rest, maganda siya.
Yeah. Kasi kung isipin mo sa Filipino culture, it's so hard to get just avocado oil. It's really expensive. Pero syempre, canola oil is the next in line that you can use for cooking.
Tsaka yung eating plenty of fruits. Kasi you really have to be cautious, especially kung meron kang insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetic. Kasi yung insulin, yung fruits, gets deposited also as triglyceride. And eventually gets to that level na magiging glucose siya. So that can also aggravate yung magpapalala ng problem sa diabetes.
Yeah.
So just be careful na huwag kang masyadong kakain, merong portioning pa din, and meron pa rin tinatawag na, ano nga tawag doon, i-distribute mo yung amount of food that you consume, that your body can process every time na kinakain mo siya.
So, hindi ko po alam, kung yung plato nyo ay parehas nito, nakita nyo, yung vegetable natin, ganito karami. It almost, the fruits and vegetable occupies half of your plate.
Almost half.
Almost half of it. Half yung vegetable and fruits.
Yeah.
And then, the whole grain.
Ito yung kanin, konti lang.
Oo, kakaunti lang, So,
Pilipino, baka kalahati yung kanin.
Baliktad yung presentation, So, but this is the healthy plate that we should be pursuing. Yeah.
Naalala ko tuloy si Rene, di ba yung kaibigan natin. Nung pinakita ko sa kanya yung kinakainan kong maliit na bowl, hindi ko lang dala-dala dito. Sabi ko, Rene, this is how I portion my food. Sabi niya, yan ang kinakain mo, Doc, tuwing lunch or tuwing dinner? Sabi ko, yes, I actually tried to discipline myself to eat only 3 tablespoon or 2 tablespoon of rice. Tapos nandiyan yung veggie, nandiyan yung protein, etc. Baka naman himatayin daw siya doon.
Kasi yung transition naman, hindi naman nangyari siya
Yeah. Mamaya
kaagad-agad.
pag-uusapan natin yung mga ganun
Okay.
transitioning. Sige. So, yan yung recommended, and really, you really have to consider if you want to be healthy, of course. Now, making the changes, actually nakuha ko to dun sa, again, dun kay Fong, yung kung paano niya ginawa or mga recommendations. I really have to acknowledge her on this. Of course, some of these are common sense.
Mhm.
First, review, di ba? Kasi everyday kumakain ka. So, it is, the right thing to do. Isulat mo kung ano yung kinakain mo.
That's right.
At least for a week.
Mhm.
Di ba? Dinner, mula sa breakfast, kumuha ka ng logbook. Di ba? Ano ba yung kinain mo today? Naalala mo pala kung pinipicturean. Minsan natataka kung bakit ko pinipicturean. Kasi I want to see it in picture.
Mhm.
Ano yung kinain ko today. So, ngayon, alam mo na kung the reason. Hindi lang siya pang Instagram.
Okay.
Hindi lang siya pang Facebook. Because I want to see how am I progressing.
Yeah.
Di ba?
So,
And the favorite part ko ng eating is breakfast. So, dati, di ba, Tapsilog, punta pa ako ng Jollibee. Ngayon, may Chowking akong Temptation. Tapos may Filipino restaurants. Ganun.
yeah. But katulad, sabi mo favorite niya breakfast. Since I have learned that that's breakfast. So, isa sa mga reviewing and changing of that we did as much as possible po hanggat kakayanin namin mag-prepare ako ng breakfast. No bread, no rice for breakfast.
No bread, no rice. Yeah. Tapos, you should be honest in evaluating, di ba? Para maging clear yung idea mo. Hindi yung isusulat ko parang dinadaya mo. So if there is anybody na dapat maging honest ka, sarili mo. Di ba? Next, adopt some small changes, mga baby steps.
Mhm.
Di ba? That can help fill in the gaps and expand your current good eating habits. Parang baby steps. Ito muna. Tapos hanggang kaya ko, bang ini-enjoy ko. Meron dito yung tanong, gaano daw kalaki yung plate?
Gano'n kalaki ang plate mo?
Ano yung bandiado? Yung regular plate, I think it's about 8 inches, di ba? 8 inches yung sa Harvard. 8 inches yun, and that's how you hindi yung bandiado, hindi yung serving tray. Di ba?
It's a regular plate.
It's the regular plate. Just to make sure. Don't be too ambitious. At karamihan nagpifail sa diet because they become too, tawag dun, overexcited.
Mhm.
Tapos, everything changes in one day.
No, it doesn't happen that
No.
way.
You don't have to make multiple significant dietary changes at the same time to reap the necessary. Ako, yun ang ginawa ko, di ba?
Mhm.
Na I started my dieting a year ago. Unti-unti.
Hindi naman, it's even more than a year ago that we started to shift.
Yeah, more than a year ago, nag-struggle talaga tayo.
Pero
Yung weight
nag-change na
natin, when we started using doTERRA products, yung weight natin pag ganun-ganon. Up, down, up, down. Ako mababawasan ng 10, magigain ng 15.
Lalo na pagka uwi tayo ng Pilipinas, all the temptations
Lalo pag
are
uwi ako na
there.
uwi sa Pilipinas, naku, sabi ko, talagang, ngayon, talagang na-control ko dahil hindi tayo umuwi for 2 years na.
2 years na, kaya na-control mo, nakaboting na natin ang temptation pag uwi.
Okay. So, change one thing in your diet for 3 to 4 weeks. Halimbawa, rice. Gradually, kumakain ka ng isang kaldero ng kanin, bawasan mo to say 3/4. Tapos after that, 1/2. Tapos 1/4. So gradually, dapat meron kang tinatawag na titration. Kumbaga sa experiment, titrate your diet. Ako, kung kumain ako ng kanin dati, when I was younger, siguro kalahating kaldero na medium size, I can eat that. Di ba? Pero as I grow older, talagang alam kong mali yung pagkain ko. So I have to control it. Otherwise, I will just bloat like a balloon. and waiting to explode, di ba? So, once it becomes a staple of your diet, move on to another area and repeat the process. Hindi ka sanay sa vegetable, di ba? Hindi ako sanay sa mga raw, mga salad-salad. And I have to really educate myself. Ano ba yung nakakain ko dun sa salad na yun? That really helps my digestion. That really gives me the nutrition that I need. Di ba? How many pieces of lettuce? Actually, yung Vietnamese food is the one that educated me on that eh. Iba kasi sa Vietnamese food, ang dami mga gulay-gulay.
May side din ng gulay. Even yung
Mm.
Korean na yung ang appetizer nila lahat vegetables.
Yeah, kasi tas mga raw.
Mhm.
Karamihan raw. And kasi sa Filipino, lahat, especially among us Bicolanos, lahat ng vegetable namin niluluto sa gata.
Oo. Sa inyo sa Bicol, lahat ginagata. Sa Tagalog naman, lahat ginigisa.
Yeah, and both of them, whether ginisa o niluto sa gata, nagre-require ng kanin. Di ba? Nagre-require ng kanin.
If you want to have yung palate na gano'n, pero unti-unti you can try to change your palate na gulay lang kainin mo.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Mhm.
Kahit ginisa, kumakain ako ng gulay, pero ang kinakain ko, gulay na lang.
Oo. May
Or kung
konting kanin. Konting kanin.
dati, I can eat talaga, hindi ko talaga kayang kainin yung gulay na walang kanin. Tapos, so, I added 2 tablespoons. Hanggang sa naging isang kutsara na lang. Now I can handle na kumain ng gulay na walang kanin. So talagang gulay lang. And sometimes may meat yun, di ba? So that's what I enjoy now. Sometimes, dati temporary ako kumain ng isang pandesal. Tapos ginawa kong kalahating pandesal. Tapos ngayon, 1/4 na lang na pandesal. So talagang you really have to titrate, kumbaga. It's an exciting journey. Actually, I consider that as very, very educational. Eto, vegetarian, kumain ng gulay. Hindi ko talaga kakaya yung araw-araw na kumakain ng gulay na raw.
Hindi mo kaya.
Hindi ko kaya. Ikaw kaya mo, di ba? So everyday nagbabaong ka. Ako, I cannot. Until now, I struggle with this.
But this is like, I eat yung ano nga sabi niya, salad. I eat kasi yun yung baon ko for lunch every day as much as I can. Of course, nagsiswitch ako ng times para nagsawa na ako, and then of course baon ako ng Pilipino pagkain. But as much as possible, I eat salad for my lunch. Yan.
Yeah. So even for eating vegetable, try to parang hanapin mo yung timpla mo eh. Dito may suggestion, once a week, go vegetarian the entire day. You can be that aggressive and eat nothing but fruits, vegetables, and whole grain.
Okay.
With a little touch of low fat dairy or eggs, etc. And no processed food once a week.
I do that.
Well, we've done that, pero we're actually doing that now. Pero initially, hindi natin nakakayanan yan. Di ba? This can actually help you recognize the types and amount of foods you need to eat without the overwhelming pressure to do it all the time. Parang you teach your palate, you teach your tongue or your taste to really be enjoying that food. You may discover that a vegetarian option are more appetizing than you expected. Ito na-enjoy ko dito yung mga pagpunta-punta ko or di ba may mga kaibigan akong Indian. Kasi yung Indian, karamihan ng Indian, they really are vegetarian. Not all of them though. But some of them are vegetarian. Then di ba minsan kumain tayo sa isang Indian restaurant na nag-serve puro vegetarian food.
Yeah,
ano
that is
masasabi
true.
mo?
It tastes good. I was surprised. Sabi ko na, masarap naman yung pagkain nila. Siguro nga dahil nag-learn na tayo to taste, yung palate natin has started to change. So, kaya masarap naman. It's the way it is prepared. Na minsan
That's actually key.
Yeah.
One of the keys of food is the way you are preparing it. Kasi kung vegetarian, tas ang alam mo lang steam, ang alam mo lang
hindi ako mag-enjoy masyado.
mahirap yun kasi you really have to be creative. in terms of food consumption and food preparation.
Yes, that's right.
So adopt a vegetarian day, and that's very important. Um, expand good habits. Kung ano yung mga magagandang natutunan mo, gradually expand that.
Mhm.
If you eat daily serving of add another one to an everyday meal by substituting it for something less healthy. Yung adobo, di ba? I know it's not really that healthy. Pero hindi ko siya pwedeng tanggihan every day
Mhm.
for the rest of the 365 days a year.
Mhm.
So, pag may adobo,
Titikim ka.
titikim ako. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin na, ayoko na talaga ng adobo. I still eat that, pero 2 or 3 pieces lang.
Mhm.
Di ba? So, hindi, kahit lechon, for those that are saying dito sa ating chat, lechon daw. Of
Mm.
course, I eat lechon. Wala namang masama dun eh. It's the amount. Di ba? It's the amount. Ako, I eat, lalo na pagka malutong yung balat. Di ba?
Mhm.
Lalo na pag malutong ang balat. But I portion, like, ganong klase. Tapos ganon lang kanipis. So,
Ngayon natututo na kami kumain na. Kakainin namin kung ano yung masarap, but only a little portion.
yeah. And then, of course, you have to eat that slowly kasi konti na nga lang yon na ini-enjoy mo.
Namnamin mo.
Namnamin mo. Namnamin mo siya. Really eat that slowly and allow that to melt in your tongue. Diba? Kasi nga, you crave for it. You want it, the experience of eating. Diba? That's the whole process. You want to experience the eating of such kind of food. It's less healthy. Totally not really a good food when it comes to healthy eating. But you really have to expand that habit.
Mhm.
No? Help choosing healthy foods feel more automatic and less like a chore. Kasi pagka nga na-experience mo yung mga ganito, you really are going to, how do you call that? Parang ini-integrate mo. Ini-integrate mo na yung ganong klaseng habit. And it's so good, right? Na yung bad habits mo, took us a while, di ba? Took us about 2 years siguro or 3 years to really put this together. That's why hindi ako masyadong comfortable discussing this topic siguro a couple of years ago. Kasi hindi ko to ginagawa eh. Parang maging hypocritical yung process.
Pero gaya naman hindi na, sabi nga namin, kakainin, we can eat anything or everything, but everything is like a choice of the amount of portion of eating it. Yeah.
Ito, napag-usapan natin somehow kanina, cook something new.
Mhm.
Kung naalala mo pala yung sinasabi ko, wala na bang iba? Diba? Pala yung kung naghahanap ako ng iba. Kasi
Mhm.
pagka pansit, tapos pare-parehas ang pagkaluto, nakakasawa.
Mhm.
So it actually destroys your kind of appetite. But if you cook it differently, tapos may presentation,
Yeah.
for those that are following me on Facebook, nakikita niyo yung mga post ko. Meron akong kaibigan na nagsabi sa akin, ganda naman ng breakfast mo. Kaya mag-aalmusal ka na lang, pinapaganda mo pa. Kasi kung kakain ako ng taro, halimbawa yung taro, the other day, pinost ko yun, I'm sorry, napindot ko tuloy. Sana ba yun?
Hindi, okay na.
Yun. Yung taro kasi is not as palatable eh.
Mhm.
Diba? Pero pag may presentation, pinaganda mo yung format, pinicturean mo pa and everything like that, parang napakasarap niyang kainin eh. Kasi pagka and then, alam mo, nutritious.
Ano ba ibig sabihin ng taro? Di gabi po ang kinain niya na almusal.
Oo.
Gatang gabi.
Ginataang gabi. And pag may presentation, tapos maganda yung pagkaayos mo sa, and it's kind of like increases your appetite for that food.
Mhm.
Diba? So, hindi lang yung pasinalampak mo lang dun tao. And you think you're going to enjoy that? No, I don't think so. There's a whole lot of psychology. That's why eating is not just eating for the sake of eating. There's also an art, there's a psychology, etc. So also find something that uses ingredients you like that requires only a few steps or minimal cooking skills. it doesn't have to be a baking process kasi di ba baking is
Takes a while.
takes a while,
Hindi, pero
exactness.
okay lang naman. Yeah, I mean, usually exactness naman nangyayari lang yun kapag baking goods, yung like mga cakes and everything. But the rest, no, you don't have to.
Yeah, look for something simple, but at the same time, doable and available yung mga ingredients. Di ba? Available yung mga ingredients. So
So-
always go for presentation.
Marami ka naman kita ngayon, ano, YouTube.
Yeah, ako,
Search it with Google.
YouTube actually teaches me a lot. Okay, enlist your friends and family. Ito yung tinatawag na parang group.
Sama-sama
Oo,
together.
sama-sama together. If you want to go diet, kahit malalayo sila, encourage them. Di ba? Actually, sa kakapost ko ng aking mga mga gandang kuhang images sa Instagram, palagi nagsasabi, nakaka-encourage daw yung pagkain ng ganun. Di ba? So it's really a joy to hear that. And of course, try new foods. Hindi lang yung palagi kayong nilagang karne or sinigang. Lutuin nyo naman ng iba.
Ang pinakamadali, alam ko, ang pinakamahirap na way to diet is if you are doing it by yourself. Kasi, katulad ko, that's why I eat salad at lunch. Kasi hindi ko kasama si Mario. Kasi kapag kasama ko siya, hindi niya kakayanin na yun ang kakainin niya.
That's true.
So, but I mean to say, if it's the whole family doing it together, or kung kayong mag-asama, the same yung diet. Ito yung breakfast na change of diet namin. Kasama ko siya doon kasi I prepare the breakfast almost every day. I prepare
Naalala ko
breakfast.
tuloy before we go, patapos na tayo. Alam mo yung champuradong oatmeal,
Mhm.
di ba? Still cut yun, di ba? It's one of the healthiest oatmeal, still cut. Actually, yung oatmeal talagang hindi ko yan ma-enjoy eh. Kung oatmeal lang.
Yung una nga, yung hindi mo ma-enjoy yung still cut
Kasi
before.
parang kang kumakain ng
Grains.
grain. Di ba? It's very grainy and hindi mo talaga siya ma-enjoy. But if you look at the nutritional value, ang ganda. Di ba? Ang ganda sa heart, ganda sa digestion, etc. And of course, yung in-absorb mo yung nutritional value nun, mas lalong maayos. But if you prepare that, and ako, di ba, ginawa mo ng champurado, di ba?
Siniligan ko lang ng tsokolate.
Nilagyan mo ng tsokolate, which again, yung dark chocolate is healthy. Tapos, nilagyan ko ng konting, anong tawag doon? Fried anchovies, yung, ano ba yung anchovies? Dilis sa ibabaw. Tapos, kinuha na ako ng picture. Di ba, ang ganda-ganda? Tapos, yung kinain ko, crunchy. Tapos, nandun pa rin yung steel cut flavor, but it's so good. Di ba? It's so good. And I enjoyed it. Actually, na-consume ko yun in 2 or 3 minutes. Yung maliit na bowl. So that's how you innovate.
Change.
That's how you innovate. Now, let's talk about intermittent fasting. Isa to sa mga modalities. Actually, I'm doing this now. Yung intermittent fasting, ngayon ko lang na-realize siya na 4 pala yan na klase.
Okay.
Merong alternate day, merong daily, something. But the most appropriate or the most highly recommended is yung time restricted eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yung 16-8 na 16 hours kang naka-fast tapos 8 hours kang kumakain. Not necessarily 8 hours as in every minute. So within that 8-hour window, nandun yung brunch mo, nandun yung dinner mo, nandun yung lunch mo. Tapos yung 16 hours, hindi ka kumakain, but if you need to eat, kinakailangan lower than 50 calories. Kapag nagutom ka. That's why, remember, may banana tayo palagi. Kasi pagka medyo nararamdaman kong gutom ako, I eat 1 or 2 pieces of banana na boiled, which actually gets me going. Diba? So, kasi inaaral na to, there's a whole lot of science behind this one. Intermittent fasting is a good choice. It's a moderately good. It's not excellent, but among the many modalities, it's moderately good. And there's a whole lot of evidence behind that. Merong direct, tsaka merong indirect evidence. And it's also balanced. It's affordable. At the outset, hindi siya madaling sundan, right? Kasi fasting eh. If you're used to eating 16 hours, tapos 8 hours ka lang nagpa-fast, ibabaliktad mo eh.
Mhm.
Diba? Ibabaliktad mo
Mahirap.
siya. Mahirap.
Yeah.
But if you're really decided on changing the course of your health, I would recommend this one kasi I did this one eh. And I'm still doing it now.
Hindi ko pa siya talaga consistent na ginagawa, but I will try this one. Nakalagay dito, frequency once or twice a week. So I will try siguro once a week for now.
Yeah, I started that way. I started once a week since siyempre pagka Monday to Friday my work. So I started doing it on a Saturday. Tapos naging twice a week, Saturday, Sunday. Tapos ngayon everyday na. So I really lost a lot of weight. Di ba naging 20 pounds na ngayon? And I'm still trying to lose mga 5 pounds pa. So I want to go down to
Galing naman ang asawa ko
155.
na na-lose niya.
Yeah, it's tough. Hindi siya madali. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys to make you realize na if you really wanted to be healthy,
It's a choice every single time, every single day, every
Mhm.
single moment with the food we eat.
yeah, what about the diet programs?
Uh-huh.
Ito yung sinasabi kong there are 34. There are 34 diet programs. I will post this on our page.
Mhm.
And nahihilo ako. Nahihilo ako dun sa iba-iba, yung mga modalities, yung iba, it dates back sa Stone Age. Merong carnivorous diet, merong kumakain ng hilaw. Imagine mo yan. One of my
Parang
doctor
yung
friend.
Japanese kind of food.
Yeah, meron akong kilalang doctor friend dito ko sa US. Si Dr. Barbers. I don't know. Kilala mo yun, di ba? Ang kinakain niya talaga, raw meat. Kasi yun daw ang healthy. Cardiologist siya. And he subscribes to that. And sabi ko, no, that's not for me. So, among the many diet, ito yung gusto kong i-feature because this is the strongest, healthiest form. Yung Mediterranean diet.
Okay, ano ba yung Mediterranean? Kailan ba ako pumunta sa Mediterranean yan?
Ang Mediterranean diet is the eating pattern of the people who live in areas bordering the Mediterranean Sea, di ba?
Okay.
So, ito yung pinuntahan ni Paul, ni Christ, di ba? Southern Italy in the late 1950s and early 1960s. So,
Okay.
may biblical context yung diet.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, yung Daniel's diet, di ba yung sa Bible, is very similar to this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Diba?
So,
Very
ano ba
similar.
yun?
Ang difference lang doon sa Daniel's diet, that's no meat. Di ba? No meat. Dito, it is characterized by high consumption of vegetable, fruits, legumes, and whole or minimally processed grain.
Okay.
And other salient features are low consumption of meat and meat products, maybe 2 to 3 times per month lang. So if you're going to eat meat, whatever form of meat, chicken, beef, pork,
Dapat,
2 to 3 times lang.
wow, that's so difficult.
And
for
very
you.
low consumption of dairy products.
Okay.
So walang butter, walang cheese. Kung kakain ka man nun talagang 2 to 3 times a month lang.
Wow.
Hindi ko alam kung kaya ko yun. Kasi ako, I love cheese. I love cheese and butter. I literally consume them, but
Every day.
small amount.
Every day.
Small amount lang every day. And that's why I'm kind of like, torn
Trying to
between
change.
two lovers. The Mediterranean diet or i-modify ko ng konti. All of those things.
Yeah. Basta you try whatever is applicable na kakayanin mo.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay, and I think that's it. Unless may mga questions kayo dyan. Meron ba kayong questions? Because that's the end of my presentation. So, I don't know. Meron ba kayong question dyan sa
Or
Facebook?
comments. Alam ko may mga nagko-comment along the way. Effort talaga. Effort.
Yeah, it's really a
Kailangan.
huge effort on every side of the equation
Mhm.
to really get this diet in place.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
So
not
for those that
easy.
are watching us on Facebook, meron ba kayong question before we go? Wala naman. Okay, so maraming salamat and I hope you learn from us again and you get to continue to learn
Mm.
about all these things that we are trying to share with you.
Yeah. So, as we close, siguro ano ko lang sa inyo, gaya nga ng sinabi ni Dr. Risa Fung, you can try to change diet one step at a time. Hindi mahirap naman siguro sa lahat ng shinare namin. Just choose one
Mm-hmm.
and then follow that one. Ano? So,
Yeah.
hindi po ganun kadali mag-change ng diet ng right away. So, sa amin, sabi ko, years ang binilang namin. Parang a year or almost 2 years now na we
Almost.
changed our diet.
Kung bibilahin ko siguro,
Mhm.
it took me about 2.5 years to
Mhm.
really get to my goal. Kasi roller coaster din tayo dati.
Mm.
It's sometimes it's easier to lose 5 pounds, and then 2 or 3 months down the road you gain 10 pounds.
Ikaw nga nag-lose ng weight eh. Ako feeling ko hindi ako nag-lose ng weight. Basta ganun lang. Stable
Mhm.
lang. Basta wag madadagdagan.
Yeah. Of course, malaking bagay yung paggamit ko ng Slim and Sassy.
Mhm.
Yung grapefruit, Slim and Sassy,
That's the one of the stable na ano yun
uh,
yung consistent.
tapos yung lifelong vitality. Kasi nga, hindi ko nakukuha sa food yung all the nutrition. So, I have to supplement
Mhm. That's right.
yung aking diet. So, I take lifelong vitality. I take Slim and Sassy. I take yung ano natin yung Terrazyme. Diba?
Mhm.
Kasi you really have to cleanse your gut every day.
Yeah. So like this ilang weeks na, nasa second week na ako eh. I'm on my yung cleanse and restore program ng doTERRA. That's what I follow. So I use that to help me.
Yeah. So, with that, maraming salamat, and I hope you get to. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be, more than willing to help.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, and have a great Saturday, and of course weekend. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night, Philippines.